But let me know if you need me to zoom anything with it. Okay. All right. So. I'm going to take that exact same data set and I'm going to attach it to our prompt here. And now we wait. Aditya says 90% of the part is understanding the data. No, 90% of the part is obtaining the data to begin with. Oh yeah, getting data within the organization is not always easy. All right, so our good employee ChatGPT is smart enough to know that there's multiple sheets, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that I wanted to do EDA on the consumer side, on the consumer part, consumer sheet, and let's start with India. Let's see where India ends up on the sheet. Okay. So we're going to be specific in what we want, right? The consumer sheet for India. It's telling us what it wants to do, and it's going to go ahead and do it. I love that it's smart enough to know that about the headers and everything else. All right, it's running into a couple of errors and it's fixing itself, which is obviously wonderful. Okay, it looks like I had to fix some of the headers and names. Trend analysis, summary statistics. That sounds great, right? That's exactly what we'd be doing in EDA. Abdul says, "Glad I could chat for the first time." Abdul, a big fan from Saudi. Wonderful, welcome, Abdul. Nice to see you here. You picked the right stream to come and join. I love doing these instructional streams, especially during the week. Okay, it's telling us that it's done. Again, let me start with a trend analysis over the years, okay? show yearly demands, trends, and charts. Analyze quarterly demand changes for India. Let's ask for a chart. Let's ask for a visualization. Okay. What do you guys think? Give me your analysis here. By the way, guys, we got to a chart after what? A minute and a half of processing? That's pretty cool. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. What do you guys think? Now remember, this is where I'm asking you guys to tie everything together, right? Think about everything we've talked about. Anything jumping out at you? In 2016, there was demonetization, so that's why. Okay. All right, cool. I like that local knowledge about 2016. Okay. Thank you for that. Lack of purchasing power during the pandemic. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Earlier we talked about gold being a safe asset, right? Yeah, Aditya, I love that observation also. I love that the macro observation you're making. Look at the overall demand, guys. I mean, this is 2010 that this goes back to. The overall demand is like terrible, right? Like an obvious downward trend for the last 14 years. So yeah, Aditya, I love that observation. Yassine says the demand was already decreasing, but after the great fall in 2020, it started going up. Something happened there. Okay, so let's talk about that, because earlier I think it was Fatima that mentioned about people wanting to go into safe assets, right? Which was a valid observation on other charts. Did people run to gold or run away from gold in 2020? Right? I mean, to me, parts of this chart kind of go against what we've seen on other charts, right? Kinda? Right? I mean, you could say that it was not seen as a safe asset in 2020, right? People ran away from gold in 2020. Maybe they went to cash, right? Or I don't know what other popular investment products there are in India, but where did all this money go? People ran away from gold, not towards it, right? They didn't see it as a safe asset. So that kind of goes against some of our earlier observations, right? Why? Like, I'd want to know that, right? Like, there's a study to be done there. Ran away, but that's the consumer behavior. Can we check ETFs? Leo, you just came up with a study, my friend. That's a study. Where did that money go? Leo's hypothesizing that it went to ETFs. Leo, that's a study. Do that and write an article on it. That's a valid study. Aditya says they went to a mutual fund. Okay, Aditya, okay, and Voldemort says after 28 people start investing in mutual funds. Okay, cool. That's another study. Right? Is that where that money went? Or did people go to cash? I'm hypothesizing that people went to cash, right? And I don't have any special knowledge. I'm just saying that's like the counterpoint to your study, right? Or another possible part to your study, right? But yeah, I mean, you guys have a valid study there, right? What was the effect of mutual funds on the Indian gold market? Like, that's a valid question that serves as a basis for a study, right? Abdul says, I agree, it should be the opposite, high demand, not the other way. Yeah, Abdul. Yeah, absolutely. But see, I hope you guys, all of you are seeing that when you see those contradictions, when you see those reversals, those are great studies, right? Like these are studies you should be walking into your next job, your next interview with. And saying, hey, you know, I saw this reversal, kind of goes against human nature. So it got me curious. Here's my study. And hey, look, I proved that it was the mutual funds that got the money, or people went to cash, or people went to ETFs, right? Like, this is where those studies happen, guys. So I mean, I just hope you're excited about this, because you guys just came up with like 3-4 different studies right now, right? Like, this is great. Like, this is how they happen. Yassine says maybe people were selling looking for liquidity to cover up for losing the ones they had for jobs that because yeah, Yassine, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they went to cash, right? Because you're right. Maybe they had more expenses. Maybe people lost their jobs. You know, I know that in places like India and other developing countries, people work non-traditional jobs. You know, maybe you worked in the street, you know, like a street stall or something, that now you couldn't work, right? So you had to go to cash. You didn't have other inflows. So maybe you cashed in your gold. You sold your gold jewelry, right? But yeah, Yassine, I could see that. I could see where people said, hey, I just need the cash for any number of reasons, and I'm gonna sell my gold.